Yes, we are live here. Friday evening, 13th of October. It's Uselink here. Welcome back to the channel, and we are going to look into the weekly recap of the uranium space, our favorite sector at the moment. Yeah, as always, give me a thumbs up, follow, all that good stuff here, and always do your own due diligence. These are just my view on the market, basically. With all that good stuff being said, let's get into what we are here for, which is weekly close for uranium. No miners and so on. That is a different section. This will purely be the ETFs ratios. Where are we? Alrighty. Looking at the URA, we have a great red candle right here. 30 weekly is curling up here nicely. And yeah, as mentioned in a tweet and also previously, I think we will find support between here. That's called 24.3. We barely touch it here, yes. And all the way down here to roughly 23, maybe even a tad lower, but 23 here is my lowest point. Going to the, let's go to the 4-hourly. I want to show you the bullish take is this one right here. Should I make it thicker? That one right there. The dotted golden, you can see it there. That is some sort of wedge that we're going, and we're now coming into the upsloping channel right there, the parallel one. And let's see if we can get a bounce here. Then I think this was the low actually, if we get that pop, and then getting above here, 26.5 will seal that deal. So yeah, you will see a better picture here actually on the URNM. That is a very tight squeeze right there. And I think if we can break to the upside of that triangle, then I think the lows are in. It would be perfect if we grind it down here and then hit that previous top at roughly 41, and then we pop. That would be very beautiful, retesting that previously major pivot high, and then we went up here. Again, as I mentioned yesterday, I don't think this is a head and shoulders because the pit here is lower than the left pit. Therefore, I'm starting to get to the conviction that that cannot be a head and shoulders if you have a lower right side pit compared to the left. It needs to be horizontal, ideally, or higher. So yeah, the weekly close for URNM, again, big red candle, still very stretched from the weekly moving average. It needs to catch up a bit, but then we should be on the tracks for as mentioned many times, a higher low here somewhere, and then we go higher. The long-term trend is definitely your friend in this case. As you know, flag, pole, flag, resumption, wave 1, 2, 3, higher we go. And yeah, just sit tight, sit tight. You should be right. What we have here, we have the URNJ on the daily. I'm just going to remove these beautiful lines from last session, from Wednesday's midweek. Similar thing again here in a blue wedge right there. And yeah, I think it looks like it wants to, it could make a lower low, and then we have the 3 impulse lows, beautiful. And if we head into the green uptrend, then we are definitely going higher. Again, we have some major supports on the way down here. This is a big one. If you go all the way down here, that will be a big support. However, we will break the green uptrend, which is not ideal. But I do not see that in the cards at the moment at all. To me, this is just one big, some sort of cup and handle in play here. That's my take on this bad boy. So yeah, we're down. How this week? How much did we end down actually? Just to see, roughly 4%. We did get a bit, some sort of a wick here. That's nice. So you can see the weeklies are getting bought up somewhat nicely. So there are buyers here in the zone, that's for sure. U.UN, these broad physical, ever since we tagged that upper golden trend on there, we have been reversing. Also note how stretched we were all the way up here from the moving average. You can see it here again. Once you start to see these spikes with a gap below, that's typically when you if you want to trade it, you want to take profit. Same thing to the downside. You can see over here, big spike down, then it snaps back up again. It's not a bottom per se, but you usually get a big retrace. And we will get the same here again. And I think we can go as low as down to $20 here. that high there. I think that's where we can go. That's 10% from now. And that would be perfectly healthy. Getting all the way down here, the third week, it will catch up, and then we go higher again. That is my bias for the spot physical. And I do think that we are slowly, not slowly per se, but we are getting up to the highs here at some point in time. Maybe within a year or so, we could be heading to roughly 40 bucks. And that's a roughly 100% from here, 80%, give or take. Actually, against the SPY, nice weekly candle actually. Big intra-week reversal here. Obviously today was a big day for the energies, at least oil. You can see here one big day, big green daily candle here. And yeah, big hammer there. 30 weekly is finally starting to curl back up again if we start to gain some momentum, and we should be heading into the highs there. And to me, what is this? Quite similar. This is one, some sort of cup and handle at the lows here. And I think when we break that long-term support and resistance trend line right here, we have a lot of fresh air, and the big level is the red one here. Yes, we have some resistances on the way up. They should be minor the way I see it, but we should be grinding up to here, in 2027 maybe, for this ratio. And that's also a huge outperformance in this ratio. You can see 100% outperformance. Not too bad, not too shabby. Actually, against the URNM, so we want this ratio to go down, you guessed it. And yeah, big green candle in favor of XLE against the URNM. But as we talked about and called it here, we're getting stretched, and we're probably looking for some sort of retrace into that 30 weekly moving average. We can delete this one. This was my forecast here. It held pretty nicely. And want to show you something here. This is a definition of an uptrend, high, higher low, higher high. You can see it all the way up here. And then what's happening here? Lower high, lower low. So we are in a weekly long-term downtrend in this ratio, which favors URNM until proven otherwise. So yeah, that's fantastic. URNM against the uranium spot price. Nothing has happened since we talked last time, like 2 days ago. We are still above the long-term gold trend line there. That's very nice. We didn't close the week above the neckline, which is not ideal at all. But again, now finally we tagged the 30 weekly the past 2 weeks actually. And if we can start to grind higher, the 30 weekly should be starting to come up here. And we have the retesting done. And if that's the case, then you have this is the higher low. So higher high and higher low. And then we should be in for a new higher high above this one here. But it has some work to do. I will give you that. It should start to come up from here. But as we looked at, the lows is actually not that far away for the uranium ETFs. This is URA against the uranium spot price. Back in the wedge, not ideal. You never want to see that. The drops here were due to TAN, the solar getting hit big time. I think it dropped like 30% in like a few weeks. So hopefully that is the reason. And yeah, we really don't want to get too much below here again. But I think when and if the URA and the URNM starts to is over with the pullback, then we should get back up again here. But again, this is not the URNM against spot price looks way more bullish compared to the URA. That is for sure. So we cannot get around that. So this is the URA against the overall commodities, the CRBs, making higher highs all the way. And we're now back into the wedge here. Again, I'm not that worried, to be honest. We have a good trend here on the 30 weekly. And basically what I'm thinking is that when we're coming down to these highs here, we should find a bottom at the lowest point somewhere around here. Yeah, then we have the higher high and we have the higher low. And then we should be back into the driving seat once again. For URA, this is just a minor pause, overbought on the weekly. And also on the, you can see here on the daily, you have some negative divergence here to here, lower RSI, and we're getting a pause here. So yeah, URA against the SPY, the SPX. Again, major breakout, major spinning top right there on the weekly, and we have some big red candles here. Not in favor of the uranium miners compared to the SPX or the SPY. Again, 30 weekly is finally should start to curl up here again, and we could go as low as a full retest down to here. And if we get there, that's a very big retrace, but that is a perfect entry in this ratio. Again, higher high, major higher low, and we should be grinding our way to the upside again. Long term, still looking good. Bottoming here, one big inverted head and shoulders happening over roughly 18 months or so. Big move up here into a pennant. We should be going higher. Just need some patience to digest all the short-term momentum, get it reset, and then we're good to go. Nothing much here on the URA against the Nasdaq since we talked last time. This is still, to me, is a cup and handle in the making, and we just need to the 30 weekly to come back up again here, and then we should be popping here. That is my my take on this beautiful ratio. What do we have here? URA against Bitcoin. I still think this is the trajectory for this ratio. Again, when and if we break that long-term ratio trend line, boom, that's a big one to take out. URA will outperform Bitcoin, but for now, it's just in a dull moment right here. Let's follow it week for week. The big one, the uranium spot price. We kissed the Fukushima high. We kissed it here, and we're getting a retrace or a pullback, just like we were to expect. And again, I think we can go all the way down to 64, 62, and then we should go higher again. The 30 weekly is coming up very fiercely here. So yeah, again, nothing goes in a straight line. But when and if we take out the Fukushima high, this one will be a ripper for sure. Very quickly, very quickly, we will put some gains in here. That's my view. Also, we had a big breakout of a, what's that, 12-year long inverted head and shoulders. That's the breakout here, and we're going in for a retest as we discussed. Also, gold and silver are doing insanely well today. So catch my commodities recap right after this one. Getting bid up very nicely here. Same thing for gold. Beautiful inverted head and shoulders, and we're probably going all the way down to the neckline here to confirm it, and then we should be going higher until proven otherwise. Long-term macro here in play for this commodity ratio. So yeah, how much did the URA end up? Was it 4%? So not the best week for the miners, but again, nothing goes in a straight line. And next week we could be in for that break next week if we get into maybe, hopefully, we can have a plus week next week. But again, patience. It should be coming to a pause or to resumption to the upside here, somewhere between 24 and 23. Excuse me, yeah, 24, 23, maybe 22 on the URA, as called when we were topping out here. So yeah, nothing to worry about on the long-term time frame. Shorter term, yes, pullbacks are indeed happening every single time on the way up, and will happen again. So have a great day, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. At least I know I am always enjoying these updates for you guys. Have a great one and have a great weekend. Cheers.